Okay, hi guys. Hope you had a good half term break, should I say? So here we are. Creakers by Tom Fletcher. Is that back to front? I don't know if it reversing. Please tell me if it is. Okay, chapter 22. So where do we leave off? It's been so long. Lucy just found the parents, and they've just seen the Creakers just come in, haven't they? It's all going to get a bit. Let's find out. Okay, so Grunt, Gruff, Scratch, and Sniff leapt out of the hole, followed by 20. Wait, 50. Okay, hundreds of black slimy creakers erupted into Main Street, Creakerland, grimacing at the grown-ups as they circled them intimidatingly. So, the chick's up, isn't it? Grunt hissed. The humans be seeing the world for what the world really is, Gruff said, flicking his chubby, pointy tail. The grown-ups backed away, terrified of these hideous monsters, for it was the first time they had ever seen the Creakers. Let us go, demanded Mayor Annoying. The Creakers burst into what Lucy recognised as a creaker laughter. That very moment, enormous rotten roots burst out of the soggy ground and around Lucy and the grown-ups and shot up into the air where they twined tightly together. They formed a giant cage around the grown-ups, with Lucy hidden somewhere in the middle of the crowd. We're trapped, she thought. Now, where's the kindling? Where's the kiddling? Grunt hissed, and Lucy's heart sank as she realised that he was no longer wearing her old dad's coat. He must have delivered it to the Creaker King, she thought. Stay out of sight, Lucy Pops, whispered Mrs. Dugston to Lucy, pulling her close. But as soon as the words left her mum's lip, Lucy felt the muddy roots beneath her feet start to rise. They lifted her up into the air, above the grown-ups around her, trying to reveal where she was hiding. No, Lucy, a few grown-ups whispered as they fought to hold her down to keep her hidden. Wait, Lucy said, her mind racing like an engine. I know what to do. This is the Wolb's power. It's backwards. She took a deep breath and yelled to the top of her voice. I'm right here, look! Easy to see, clear as crystal. Lucy, what are you doing? Mrs. Dugston gasped in horror. It's okay, Mum. Look, said Lucy, pointing to the Creakers. They were all looking angrily in Lucy's direction, but thanks to Lucy using the Wolb's magic, they couldn't see her. I think I'd like to stay right here, Lucy announced loudly, and just as she hoped, the roots dropped her back down among the crowd. Here's a picture of her kind of being lifted up in the air. See that? It's just there. You have to do the opposite of what you really want, explained Lucy to the puzzled grown-ups. Go backwards to go forwards. Go down to go up. Hide and you'll be seen. Try to be seen and you'll stay hidden. Over here, come and get me. The Creakers growled with frustration as they realised they were being outsmarted. Chicksy kindling, Grunt hissed. We be coming back for you, little human. We be coming back for you, little human, scoffed Guff. We'll be coming back with, began Scratch. The king, croaked Sniff. The king knows what to do with pesky kindlings, snorted Grunt. Lucy's heart leapt like a frog as the Creakers disappeared back down the tunnel to summon their leader. She didn't want to be around when they came back. Once the Creakers had vanished into the wall, all the grown-ups turned to look at Lucy. Dozens of worried, desperate faces stared at her. What do the Creakers want from us, Lucy? What do the Creakers want from us, Lucy? Asked the mayor, who had managed to find his pyjamas and was hurriedly pulling them on. Mess, Lucy said. The grown-ups screwed their faces in confusion. Rubbish, Piers Snorgenbart. Yes, exactly, Lucy said. Rubbish. They love our rubbish, our litter, our mess, muck, mould, and more. They want our waste, and they tired of all you grown-ups wasting it. Wasting it, said the mayor, frowning. But we just throw it away. It's waste. Precisely. Then where does it go? Into the oceans, buried in the ground, burned up into smoke in the sky, Lucy said. These creakers can't get it if we do that, and without it they can't survive. That's why they snatched you lot and left us kindlings. Kids. We're messy and we never clear stuff up. We leave it all out where they can get their hands on it. And what were they doing with all this with us down here? What is this place? Shouted Mrs. Scroodles, the sweetie lady. Well, you were all swept away with the power of this world. It makes everything that isn't is into isn'ts. Everything that was into wasn'ts. Your stressful, grown-up, tidy, mess-free lives became fun and childish. You were making mess for the Creakers, Lucy said. Like cows in a farm, old man Carvery said, shaking his head. I guess you could say that, yes, a mess farm, Lucy said. Aren't we forgetting the most important question? How do we get out? Piers Snorgan asked. Shh, Lucy said. If you want something down here, you have to ask the right way. You mean the wrong way? Old man Carvery said. Exactly, replied Lucy, pleased. A way that this place understands. Lucy paced up and down, trying to come up with a plan to get out, trying to think like a grown-up, but her mind was blank. Then she stopped on the spot and rolled her eyes at herself. Oh, come on, Lucy, she thought. Trying to do something in the world is the one sure way of making sure you can't do it. She took a new approach. She stopped trying to be the hero who saves all the grown-ups and get them home safely to their kids. She closed her eyes and cleared her mind. She imagined she was just an 11-year-old girl who didn't have a clue how to get out of the trap she was in and wasn't really bothered about thinking of a way to rescue all the grown-ups from life on this mess farm. Suddenly, a very clever idea floated through the air and slipped inside Lucy's mind. She felt like a light bulb had just gone ping above her head, like one of those big red recording lights at a television studio when they're live on air. That's it, thought Lucy. That's definitely not it. Mr. Snorgans, she said to Piers. What? Your television camera. Will it broadcast from down here up to our world? Lucy said hopefully. Certainly not. Heaven knows how deep underground we are. The chances of broadcasting a live television signal out of here are absolutely hopeless, Piers said. A huge smile appeared on Lucy's face. Brilliant. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to hear at all, she said, winking. Suddenly, the red recording light on top of Wakey Whiffington camera pinged on. They were live. Piers Snorgan stared at the camera and scratched his head. I don't understand. How did... Never mind now, hissed Lucy. Just pretend you're presenting a normal show. Yes, go on, listen to Lucy, urged the mayor, nudging Piers toward the camera. Obediently, Piers switched into cheesy TV presenter mode. Good morning, Whiffington. This is... Lucy Dugston, Lucy interrupted, standing directly in front of the camera. There she is. Waving. Remember me? I'm the girl who wanted to watch the news and go to school and helped you get your hands out of the biscuit jar, used the Hoover to suck the Play-Doh out of your nose and stopped you crashing all the cars. Well, now I need your help. She took a deep breath, crossed her fingers for luck. I really, really, really hope someone is watching this, she said. This is breaking news. I have found the grown-ups. Chapter 23, Lucy's Orders. And we'll have that tomorrow. Goodbye.